In this video, let's talk a little bit about DHCPv6 Relay. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Hopefully I can talk about this. There we go. So what if our DHCPv6 server is on another network? Similar to IPv4, DHCP messages between the client and server by default stay on link. They're not routable. So what if the DHCPv6 server is on a different network? Well, we can configure what's known as DHCPv6 Relay. This is basically what we're going to be doing is forwarding those DHCPv6 messages from the client that come typically as a multicast to the server as a unicast, and then back from the server for the messages coming from the server, for those back to the client. So the DHCPv6 messages will be forwarded by the router. We can do this as either a unicast or a multicast. A unicast meaning we know the address of the DHCPv6 server. Multicast is we do know the address, but we might have multiple DHCPv6 servers, or we might be just wanting to do a multicast in case that address ever changes. So we'll take a look at both. So let's take a look at, first of all, we have the router is configured as an IPv6 router, sends out the router advertisement message. The client knows it needs to use stateful or stateless DHCPv6. Here we're doing stateful DHCPv6. We have the M flag configured set to 1. And here's our relay command. So any messages coming from the client will be, here we go, will be relayed to this address, will be sent to this address, the address of the server. Okay. Now, notice that I've also done a exit interface here. This is this interface here. This is only required if this address is a link local address. Okay. So if this is a link local address of the server, if we happen to use a link local address of a server, then we need to specify what interface, because that address could exist on any of the router's interfaces. But in this case, it's a global unicast address. The egress interface G00 is actually not required in this case. Okay. So it's forwarding messages to that to the DHCPv6 server, and messages coming back from the server will be forwarded back to the client. You can use multicast. So this is when your DHCPv6 server, you're not specifying the actual address. The FF05:1:3 is a assigned or well-known multicast address, means, hey, any or all DHCPv6 servers, they will listen to this address, listen for this address and reply. But in this case, we do need to configure multicast routing on the router. Okay, a little bit more involved. All right, and that's it for DHCPv6 Relay.